You look like trouble, he whispered, his voice low, almost lost in the music thumping from the rooftop speakers. She turned her head slowly, her hair catching the glow of neon lights. And when her eyes met his, the world seemed to pause. She didn't smile right away. Instead, she studied him as if weighing his worth in a single heartbeat. Then, with lips curving into a dangerously slow smile, she replied, "And you look like someone who wants trouble." Those words hit him harder than the beat of the bass. Everyone else around them blurred into meaningless shadows. She leaned against the balcony railing, the city skyline burning in the background. The way her long figure stood framed against the glittering lights, it was bold, magnetic, and impossible to ignore. She wasn't just beautiful. She was a challenge wrapped in a body. That looked like it was carved to test men's control. "So what are you doing here all alone?" he asked, stepping closer. "Maybe I was waiting for someone brave enough to talk to me?" She teased, her voice soft, daring. His pulse raced. He wasn't brave, he was reckless. But something about her made every risk worth it. He leaned just close enough to feel the heat of her body against the cool night air. "Tell me your name," he said. She tilted her head, her eyes locking onto his. Why ruin the mystery so fast? That answer, it was enough to make him laugh under his breath. But inside, it left him starving for more. Around them, music roared, people danced, laughter echoed, but he only heard her. The night was alive with possibilities. Yet his entire world narrowed to this one girl in short denim, shorts and a fitted shirt that clung to her like a second skin. She didn't need to try. Every glance, every movement felt intentional, like she knew the effect she had on him. "You know," he said, his tone sharper now, "I came here tonight thinking I'd just have a drink, maybe enjoy the view. But now the only view I care about is you." Her smirk deepened, but this time there was a softness in her eyes. "Careful," she warned. "Once you see me, you can't unsee me." The word sent a chill down his spine. She was right. From the moment he saw her, he was trapped, caught, hooked. There was no going back. She shifted closer, her perfume subtle but intoxicating. For a second, her hand brushed against his arm. Barely a touch. But it set his entire body on fire. He swallowed hard, fighting the urge to close the distance. "You're playing a dangerous game," he whispered. "The best games are always dangerous." She shot back, her eyes daring him to cross the line. And in that moment, he knew. This night wasn't going to be ordinary. This night was about to rewrite every rule he thought he knew about desire, about connection, about destiny itself. The rooftop crowd had become nothing but noise. He didn't even notice when they slipped away from the dance floor and found themselves by the rooftop pool. The water shimmered under the moonlight, reflections dancing like tiny sparks, as if the universe itself was watching them. She sat at the edge, her long legs brushing against the water, droplets sparkling against her skin. Her shirt hugged her perfectly, the denim shorts revealing just enough to keep his thoughts dangerously restless. She leaned back on her hands, tilted her face toward the night sky, and whispered, "Do you believe in destiny?" He watched her for a moment, the glow of the city painting her silhouette in silver. "I didn't," he admitted softly. "But after meeting you, I don't believe in anything else." Her laughter was soft, almost fragile, but her eyes glistened with something deeper, something that made his chest ache. She leaned closer, her lips almost brushing his ear, and murmured, "If you kiss me now, don't let it be ordinary." Those words shattered every wall he had left. He reached for her slowly, afraid the moment would vanish if he moved too fast. His hand found hers, fingers intertwining like they were always meant to fit. Their eyes locked, and for a heartbeat, time itself froze. Then their lips met. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't clumsy. It was deliberate, slow, teasing, like both of them wanted to memorize every second of it. Her lips were soft, warm, carrying the taste of danger and sweetness at the same time. She leaned into him, pulling him closer, her hand resting on his chest where his heartbeat thundered like a drum. The kiss deepened, hungry now, unstoppable. He felt the world fall away. The music, the city, the night. There was nothing but her. Every breath she gave, every touch she allowed, felt like fire running through his veins. When they finally pulled apart, both were breathless. She kept her forehead against his, her smile trembling with unspoken emotions. "See," she whispered. "I told you. Nothing ordinary. He chuckled softly, though his voice shook. Ordinary isn't possible with you. For a long moment they sat there, her legs brushing against the water, his arm around her shoulders, their bodies leaning into each other as if the world could end, and they wouldn't care. What are you afraid of? He asked suddenly. She hesitated, her eyes dropping to the ripples in the pool. Then she looked back at him, her gaze piercing. I'm afraid of feeling too much. He tightened his hold on her hand. Then don't be afraid. Just feel it. She stared at him, caught between fear and longing. And then she kissed him again, fiercer this time, as though trying to burn the memory into his soul. In that moment, they weren't strangers. They weren't two people who had just met. They were something else entirely. Two flames colliding, daring the night to keep up with their fire. The city was still asleep when the first hint of dawn began, painting the horizon in gold and crimson. They were still on the rooftop, but the world felt quieter now, as if the universe had decided to give them these last few moments alone. The pool was still, the music had faded, and even the air carried a kind of stillness that only comes before goodbye. She stood at the railing, her long figure outlined by the rising sun, hair flowing in the breeze like liquid fire. He watched her silently, memorizing everything, the way her shirt clung softly to her, the curve of her silhouette against the light, the way she bit her lip as though holding back words too heavy to speak. Finally, he stepped closer, his voice breaking the silence. I don't want this night to end. She didn't turn to face him right away. Instead, she placed her hands on the cold railing, staring out at the endless city. Every night ends, she whispered. Even the ones we don't want to let go. He reached out, his hand brushing against hers, fingers desperate to hold on. Then let's make it a beginning instead. That made her turn. Her eyes glistened in the morning light, full of emotions she had fought to hide all night. For a second, he thought she might give in, that she might let herself fall the way he already had. But her smile was fragile, and her voice softer than the wind. You don't understand, she said. Some stories aren't meant to have a beginning. They're only meant to be remembered. His chest tightened. He wanted to argue, to fight, to beg her to stay. But she stepped closer and pressed her lips against his one last time. It wasn't like their earlier kisses, wild, passionate, hungry. This one was slower, deeper, as if she was sealing a promise he could never break. A goodbye disguised as forever. When she pulled back, tears shimmered in her eyes, though she never let them fall. Don't look for me tomorrow, she murmured. Tonight was our forever. He froze, every word slicing into him. But before he could reply, she slipped away. She walked toward the stairwell, her figure glowing in the soft light of dawn. And then, she was gone. He stood there for a long time, staring at the empty doorway, his chest heavy with the ache of something unfinished yet unforgettable. The city below roared back to life, but to him everything was silent. The only sound that mattered was the echo of her laughter, the whisper of her words, the taste of her kiss. He knew he would never see her again. But he also knew this. One night, one girl, one kiss had changed everything. And sometimes, that was enough. Please click subscribe to our channel. We have more stories coming as soon. Miss any new stories? Thank you for listening.